DeSantis, Florida will conduct its own investigation of assassination attempt.
Ooh.
So here's the big thing. They, like we said at the beginning, the feds really want to get their hands on this guy, either to memory hole him and stick him in a federal prison somewhere and not run any more news stories,
Well,
or Jack Ruby him and
or he'd hang himself.
Oh, he accidentally slipped and hanged himself.
yeah.
None of the TV cameras were on, and we don't know why.
And the guards were asleep. Get the hell out of here.
Odd how that seems to happen.
Yeah. If I was DeSantis, I would park the National Guard around that place and tell the feds to fuck off.
I would throw all of the feds out of the state of Florida. Get out. Bye.
Yep. That might happen because this two-tier justice system is rubbing a lot of people the wrong way.
Starting to really get ticked off at a lot of it. Florida Governor DeSantis said the state will conduct its own investigation into the apparent assassination attempt against Trump at his golf club Sunday in Palm Beach. The state of Florida will be conducting its own investigation regarding the assassination attempt at Trump International Golf Club, DeSantis wrote Sunday evening in a post on the social platform TwitX.
I think this guy is going to need some tactical baptisms.
Probably. The people deserve the truth about the would-be assassin, how he was able to get within 500 yards of the former president and current GOP nominee for a second time.
The first one got within 150 meters, and that guy had an M4 platform. He shouldn't have missed. Divine intervention. That's what happened. So thank God we have a Secret Service guy with decent set of eyeballs who's like, hey, man, that's an AK-47.
Every one of those agents that day, anybody working any part of the security detail at all, even the guy bringing the fucking donuts should have been fired.
Yeah. They fucked up bad.
A rifle within 150 meters of your principal.
You fucked up.
Wow.
Bad.
Lads.
Yeah.
A Secret Service agent fired at the man who dropped his AK-47 style rifle and fled in the car. They cannot get that point right. They love AK-47s and M16s.
I mean,
AR-15s.
Let's be honest.
Say those words.
If you look at it, it does look like an AK. All right. Unless you have a discerned eye. I've looked at all.
What you're looking at, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I look like long barrel. It's a sporter stock. He's got obviously an AK.
I could tell the first time I saw it that it was not an AK-47, but that was really as far as I could go until I was able to see the picture and compare it to some SKSs.
Yeah. The SKS was the rifle before the AK that the Russians decided was a little bit too expensive to produce and didn't have enough bullet capacity.
It's a nice little rifle, though.
It is. It's not bad.
It's a decent little rifle.
Yeah. It's got a little pokey stick on the end and everything.
Pokey stick. I like pokey sticks. No homo.
No homo. Phrasing.
Jimmy, you must be asleep or drinking because you totally missed a phrasing there.
I think he's taking a pee-pee.
Oh, might be.
Let's go.
Authorities eventually tracked down the man traveling from Palm Beach County to Marin on I-95 after witness captured a photo of the vehicle and said he was apprehended at the scene. The rifle with the scope, 2 backpacks, and a GoPro were found in the bushes where the suspect was spotted. The Trump campaign and authorities quickly announced the former president was safe following the incident. Safe is in quotation marks here as we're playing hide and go seek, by the way.
And let's be honest, a professional is not going to hang up bulletproof vests or have a GoPro.
No.
So this guy's an amateur. I think he's a little cooked and booked in the head.
Yeah.
But the 12 hours ahead of time, I just can't buy it, especially when it's an unplanned event. I don't buy it. I really don't. There is a leak somewhere, and it could be all the way up at the top. Who knows?
This is just 9 weeks after the first shooter.
Correct.
Thomas Crooks. 9 weeks, and they already have a lapse in security like this. There's a mole.
There's got to be.
There's no way that there isn't somebody inside this organization.
Yes.
At this point.
That's why he needs to hire some hitters.
Hire me, I'll do your intelligence work. Concerns over the Secret Service's security capabilities persist among some lawmakers. Now, hey, all of you Democrats that are cheering this on, those Secret Service guys, they protect you.
Yes.
And if they're this bad or this easily bought,
or diversity hires,
or diversity hires, guess what? You're on the chopping block too, so you might want to think about that part. The House Task Force investigating the July assassination attempt demanded a briefing with Secret Service about Sunday's events, and House Security Brief responded during the incident. We're thankful that the former president was not harmed, but remain deeply concerned about the political violence and condemn it in all of its forms. Task Force Chair Mike Kelly and Ranking Member Jason Crow wrote Sunday. Authorities have yet to determine the motive for the apparent attempt on Trump's life.
All right. So here's the motive right here. We've had a news media that has done nothing but attack one side, coddle the other. And they've turned Trump into some kind of tyrant villain.
Well, they need a villain because they're so bad. They require a villain to project onto.
Correct. But the thing is they are much worse right now. I mean, the left is out of their fucking mind.
I can produce probably a minimum of 100 separate individual cuts. As a matter of fact, I might try to do this, of Democrat lawmakers, supporters, and bureaucrats calling for the death and or assassination of Donald Trump.
You know what? We should probably see if Billy Von Baum can splice together a bunch of takes like that and get it to us.
Billy, I'll send you a bottle of mead. My mead's good stuff.
Yeah, there are compilation videos out there. Of course, we have the famous Mad Maxine Waters video of make them uncomfortable, show them that they're not welcome here. Yeah. We have come swallow a heels up, pull my Harris say they're not going to stop and we need to support them, which let me remind you guys, she actually tweeted out in support for the people for the Shimmer Nerve and actually raised funds for bail money. And so did Joe Biden.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
That's a fact. We need to put that together in a compilation and play it and get it up on the channel.
Jimmy, are you able, by the way, to put the clip into the secret chat side there?
Which clip were you wanting?
For the show, Deep State Zero Trump 2, the opening clip that Blake made earlier, because Blake is intimating something and I want to call it out. We are thankful that the former president was not harmed, but remain deeply concerned.
Of course, that sounds so sincere.
New York Times said it interviewed him for a feature on the Ukrainian fighters last year. The Times said Routh is originally from Greensboro, North Carolina, and traveled to Ukraine in 2022 to recruit ex-Afghan soldiers. What a freaking joke.
Just go fight yourself, man.
God.
Oh,
Let's
Lord.
find it. So I went through and deliberately got newspapers that had opinions counter to much of what I believe because I wanted to be reasonable and fair and see what they were saying as well. You need to see the whole story. Do not listen to your enemies. New York Times reporter revisits earlier interview with suspect at a Trump golf course. Ryan Routh wanted to fly Afghan veterans to fight against Russia and Ukraine. So says Thomas Gibbons Neff. Last year, I was working on an article about foreign fighters and volunteers in Ukraine. The piece focused on people who were not qualified to be allowed anywhere near the battlefield in a U.S.-led war. And I beg your pardon. Last year, I was working on an article about foreign fighters and volunteers in Ukraine.
Correct.
The piece focused on people who were not qualified to be allowed anywhere near a battlefield.
There you go.
In a U.S.-led war.
Yeah. He just
said it.
Yeah, he just said it.
Right there.
I was like, bing.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't catch that the first time around.
Huh.
Oh, that's awkward. Awkward. The U.S.-led war, and yet we're fighting on the front against Russia. A U.S.-led war. There it is in the New York Times. Huh.
So he interviewed him.
Among the people I interviewed, Ryan Routh, a 58-year-old man whom the FBI is investigating what is calling an assassination attempt against Trump. Sunday, I was put in touch with Mr. Routh through an old colleague and friend from Kabul, Najim Rahim. Through the strange nexus of combatants, as one war ended and another began, he had learned of Mr. Routh from a source of his in Iran.
All right.
We have international espionage ties everywhere. What's going on here?
Yeah, this is insane. So U.S. led
Former Afghan special operations soldier who was trying to get out of Iran to fight in Ukraine. Why do these people have these ties? Gosh, that's odd.
Well, hang on. All right, if you're in Afghanistan right now, and you supported or fought for the U.S. forces, you are a pariah and a black sheep.
Oh, you're dead meat. If the Taliban gets a hold of you, you're done.
Those guys want to get out of the country.
Yeah.
And some of those guys are probably like, you know what? I'll go fight the Russians if I can get out of this fucking country.
Yeah.
So I can't really blame them for that.
Yeah. That's some crazy stuff, man. Mr. Routh, who had spent time in the Ukraine trying to raise support for the war, was seeking recruits from among Afghan soldiers who fled the Taliban. So the former Afghan soldier reckoned Mr. Routh could get him to the Ukrainian front. Anything, even war, was better than conditions in Iran for the Afghans after the Taliban retook Kabul in August of 2021. I'll bet that's so.
Yes.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporters Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.